Hello. I'm just going to kind of breathe for a moment. I am super, super excited to be here today. So, guys, I'm broadcasting on a bunch of different platforms live today. So, I hope you have a great day out there. And I am super, super excited. I am starting a new series. For those of you who don't know, some of you may have heard about it last week. It is called Being the Leader of Your Life. I think now it is so important for us to kind of sit back and say, are we being the leader of our life? Are we living our life in that manner? So for those of you who don't know me, because some of you, this might be your first introduction to me, my name is LaShonda Herring, as you see on the screen. I am the founder of H Zone. This a business where we have primarily helped entrepreneurs, those newbies, the beginning entrepreneurs. And it doesn't mean necessarily you've just been introduced to entrepreneurship. We do have clients that are like that, but it's for those who are starting a new venture. And it's a heartfelt venture, like your passion, your purpose. We really help those entrepreneurs turn those ideas and that thing into a viable business, so that you're able to support yourself, so you're sustain yourself and do work that you love and that you are passionate about. And I'm excited about doing that kind of work because I feel honored to be on the journey with you guys doing that kind of work. So much fun. Is that spiritual entrepreneurs, the teachers that show up to really make an impact in this world. I love absolutely working with them. So I wanted to start this series that's a little bit broader than entrepreneurship. So this is for everybody, because I think what's happened, especially in the United States, because I've never lived in another, so I do think of things in other countries I don't. But here in the United States, we have really been led to go to school, act the same, go get a really good education, and get that really good job. And that was the norm. It's what we were all taught. And what I really feel like is happening, there's a shift that we don't all have to be the same. We don't all have to live our lives the same. And so that old norm is kind of breaking down, especially with the pandemic. We always talk about, oh, the new normal and everything. Well, the old normal, I want people to sit with and ask yourself, was it that great for you? Did you enjoy all aspects of your life? Were you really feeling like you were in charge of some things or most things? Or did you feel like things were happening? So I want you to kind of that out a little bit, because a lot of times I think what's happening for us is that we're just going, we're adulting, and we're going day to day, and circumstances happen and we deal with the circumstances, and then we go day to day, kind of like the rat race that we've heard about and talked about. What I want to ask you is that really satisfying for you? Is that really what you want? When you thought, or as a teenager in your earth, and you thought about your life, was that the life you really wanted to create, the life you have now? Does it look like your dreams and your desires? So I think if anything, for some, definitely the past has halted us a little bit to take inventory, to say, do I really like the work I'm doing? Is it fulfilling? How about my relationships? Do I have really good quality relationships in my life? Am I making my heart's desires come true? Whether that be learn another language, whether that be take a dance class. But are you getting to live your life to the fullest? Are you feeling like I'm really in charge of what's happening and what's going on in my life? Or do you feel like you're just being hit after situation after situation? You just feel like you're kind of just being hit, and like hit in the gut sometimes, or punched in the face with life. So this series is about that. This series is us exploring that and looking at, how do you become the leader of your life? Because here's the thing. To be an entrepreneur, you're a leader. But if you're not leading your life, how can you lead a company or an organization or your clients or people you contract to work with you? If you're not used to being the leader of things and circumstances and how you direct your life, it becomes a big challenge to direct a company, to build a corporation, to set a corporate culture. And I don't mean a Fortune 500 corporate culture. Even if you're a solopreneur, you're setting up the culture for your organization, for your company, for that business that you're building. So we really need to focus in on first checking ourselves to make sure that we fully embraced and define the leader that we want to be for our companies, for our life. So that way it makes it such an easier transition to be the leader of a company, because that's just one area of your life. So if you feel like, you know what, I have most of the areas, if not all the areas of my life where I'm the leader, then this will be an easy transition to be the leader of a business or a corporation. So that's a series I feel called to do right now, and to offer you that, and to hopefully give you some wisdom, some ahas, some things to think about. I love giving questions so that you guys can have homework and something to ponder and maybe journal about or write about or take into your meditations. But I really want you to think about, am I being the leader of my life? You know, have you been living your life with what I call the P's, with pressure and push? Has that been leading your life? I feel this pressure to reach this level. I feel this pressure to do this thing. I feel this pressure to get something done. So once you feel the pressure, then you start pushing, then you start going. And while you're moving in that cycle, did you ever ask yourself really inside in your heart and your desire and your soul, is this what I want to do? Or do I feel like I have to? And I know that we're adulting, and I know that, there are bills and responsibilities that we have. But there are some things that some of us have taken on that we don't have to, because we're so used to being in this pressure state, in this push state, in this constantly moving, that we haven't taken inventory. We haven't sat back to say, do I really want to do this? Is this really what lights me up? Is this really what makes me happy? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's business, whether it's your friendships, is your life feeling fulfilled? Do you feel like I have so much in my life that I wake up and I'm excited to get up and live and go through my day because it's amazing and I've created this amazing life? Are you feeling like that? Because see, when you have a life like that, there's a confidence that you have. There's breaths that you can actually take, and it's not relieving stress. It's just taking in your day. You feel like I'm in charge. I'm leading myself in the right direction. But my guess is there's a bunch of people out there, because I've been this way for sure. I've lived my life with this push and this pressure that I had to achieve this certain job, and I had to achieve this certain education, and then I had to achieve this goal in the job, and then I had to achieve this next pay level, and this next, and this next, and this next, because it was what everybody around me was saying and expectations. And I didn't really look to see, do I want to do that? And that's how I was living my life. I would say probably up until my 30s. And at some point, I started this really strong spiritual journey, and it made me stop, and it made me look at, what do I really want? What do I really, really desire? Is this what I'm doing right now making me happy? For the moment, you get the accolades of, yay, you achieved that certain status and you're at that level in your job. And it's like, okay, that's good, but does it make me sleep better at night? Do I feel like I'm making the impact in this world that I came to make? Do I really feel good about what's going on? And at that time, the answer was no for me. I wasn't. I was going on a path and people were like, oh, you've got to go to the next level. You've got to go get your doctorate. And, we want you to teach here and we want you to take on this position. And that was all exciting. And that would give me prestige. But when I sat back, it wasn't the path I wanted. It wasn't something that lit me up inside. I was being led to a path that was designed and that people would say, oh, well, that's wonderful. You'll make more money. You'll have the status. You'll have the other alphabet behind your name. But it didn't light me up. It wasn't calling me forward. So I made a decision then to stop doing and being led by what other people thought I should do and what they thought the path for me was. I needed to do something different. I needed to find my own path. I needed to lead my life. I needed to take control and be in charge and not let what society felt I should do, what family felt I should do, what anybody else felt I should do. So for me, it was a conversation between me and the divine, me and God, and getting really clear as to what I wanted. What really did I want to do? And that I could lead my life, that I could take charge of my life, and I could decide the directions that I wanted different parts of my life to go in, that I had that capacity. Because that's real adulting. Paying bills and all that, yeah, that's a piece of it. That's being responsible. But real adulting is taking charge, being the leader of your entire life, all the different components of that. That's real leadership. What some of us might have been doing, and I know I was doing it, I was doing that pressure. I was doing pressure and I was doing push. So I would get the pressure that I had to do something, and then I would push and I would push and I would push, and I'd be exhausted. I'd be tired. I'd be exhausted. At the end of the day, you see people that are like, oh, like Friday, right? People are like almost dead to the world Friday because they're exhausted. Because what they're filling their life with isn't exciting them, isn't lighting them up. And they're not manifesting the things that they want and they desire. So it's almost like you have this pressure and you have this pull, but you're not being the leader. It's like something else or somebody else's voice is in charge of your life. And that's not okay. You have what it takes to be in charge of your life. You really do. You absolutely, positively have what it takes to be in charge of your life. And you may not feel at this moment that you can take charge of every component of your life. And I get that because that's overwhelming. But you do have what it takes. So my question for you today is the broad question. Are you being the leader of your life? Are you really doing the things that light you up, that you feel called and led to do in your intimate relationship? And I don't mean that you're in charge of your intimate relationship, but you're leading, you're guiding that. It's going in a direction that you want. It's fulfilling for you. It's satisfying. It's loving. It feels healthy. Your social life? Do you have people around you that support you and build you up and are going in the direction maybe that you're going, or even just share your values? Your career, your business? Are you doing something that feels so amazing to you, that you're impacting the world, that you're really making a difference? Spiritually, is that like filling your cup, as we say? Is your spiritual life filling your cup? Emotionally, do you feel like I'm in charge of my emotions? I know how to handle them well. I have emotional intelligence. Intellectually, do you feel like you can lead and guide yourself? Even if you're a parent, a leader, and are you leading in a way that you're comfortable? to do? All of those are the questions. And then there's more time because we can go into the nuance. But I want you to ask yourself, are you the leader of your life? So here's what I'm going to do. This is the kickoff of this series. And I'm going to be on every week to talk about another component of being the leader of your life. Sharing some wisdom, sharing some resources, sharing some food for thought to help you guys to feel like I'm in charge of going in the direction that I desire. That's the big thing. When we talk about creating absolutely love, that's what we're talking about. You being in charge and leading your life in the direction of your desires, of your goals, of your intentions, whatever you choose to label that, whatever works for you. But are you doing it in all areas of your life? So that when you leave work, you're excited about going home because that's a great area for you. And then when you go out socializing, you're loving that too. And then when you're doing your spiritual stuff or you're on vacation, all of it, you're not just living for your vacation. You're enjoying all of it. So if you so desire, take this journey with me. Definitely take the journey with me. And for those of you who aren't part of the H Zone community, join us over at the H Zone. Come to the website, join. There are some free resources. There are video vlogs that I've been doing for the last couple of years that have insight, tips, and strategies for you that are entrepreneurs. But definitely be a part of the community so that you can see what's going on beyond just this series. And I will see you guys soon. And I will hopefully see you guys next week. Bye for now.